tutorial, I'm going over one of the coolest people to ever exist, Mr. Rob Zombie. To start off, I'm lightly painting the center of my face white with Graftobian Pro Paint and also the Made You Look foundation brush. I'm then lining my eyes with the Urban Decay Perversion black eyeliner and smudging it out using the Made You Look angled brush. Similar to skull eyes, we're going to use the Made You Look angled brush to make an outline of eyes in teal using Paradise Paint. It's going to be kind of bright at first, but it will be toned down in a bit. I'm then using the Made You Look eyeshadow brush and filling in my eyes. Lightly using a little bit of light green Paradise Paint in the Made You Look eyeshadow brush, I'm then filling in little patches of green. Throughout this entire tutorial, it is super helpful to look at the Hellbillies album cover to use it as reference. I'm then going in with the Made You Look angled brush and adding some dark blue around the inner corners of my eyes in kind of a wrinkly sort of fashion. This is going to give my eyes some more depth, and this color is from BH Cosmetics. Continuing to use the same brush and Graftobian Pro Paint in black, I am then outlining pretty much the inner corners of my drawn on eye. Be sure to blend the color in a little bit because this is what is giving your eyes depth. This part is definitely easiest if you want to reference the album cover while doing this. I'm then taking another shade of blue from BH Cosmetics and continuing to use the same brush and just drawing in a little bit of wrinkles around my nose, and also adding a smidge of expression in between my eyebrows. Overall, I'm just getting in a basic shape of Rob Zombie's nose as opposed to mine. Because he's obviously going to have a little bit more of a manly nose than I do, I'm making sure to fill in each side of my nose with a straight line to make it a little bit more pronounced and more masculine. I'm also shading according to the album cover. This blue can also be found in his skin texture around his eyes, so I'm adding it there as well. I'm then using a light blue matte Chromacake and a Made You Look eyeshadow brush to create an outline around my face. I'm blending that into the white and also adding blue patches where necessary. When doing this part of the application, be sure you leave a little bit of room for your widow's peak that is at the top of your hairline. Unless you have one, then you don't have to worry about it. Right now I'm also adding this blue around where my beard will be going, but it's not there yet. From there, I'm using another color from BH Cosmetics, which is a bit of a darker blue, and I'm adding in some definition around the edge of my face as well as some of his wrinkles. This part of the album cover is actually the trickiest of the entire makeup look. Here I'm using the Made You Look angled brush and I'm drawing his skin texture going downward. Usually wrinkles would be going across, but this is a little bit more of texture. The best way I can describe doing this is creating a bunch of little faded out triangles going towards the eyes. I'm also making my eyes somewhat connect to these wrinkles by bringing up those triangles coming from the eyes towards my hairline. Going in with another color from BH Cosmetics, pretty much like a periwinkle blue, and I'm also using the Made You Look eyeshadow brush. I'm just adding that in around my forehead, around the wrinkles, and where I see necessary according to the album cover. I'm also adding this on my nose to give it a little bit more definition. We're going to be adding colors to the nose throughout the entire process. From here, I decided to add in my wonderful Rob Zombie beard just so I had a little bit of a better idea of where I'm going. I'm using the Made You Look detail brush and matte Chromacake in light blue and just using long and small strokes to create the beard around my mouth. Once you have that filled in, I'm also going back in with a dark blue Paradise Paint and finishing up that section with a black Graftobian Pro Paint. To make sure the shadows are filled in and there is density to the beard, I'm also going back in with BH Cosmetics black eyeshadow and doing a little bit of shading in the beard and around it. Using the same black and the Made You Look detail brush, I'm adding a little bit of definition to the wrinkles and to the skin texture itself. This is where it mainly starts to really come together when you're adding the black around your nose and giving it true definition and shading. I'm also adding some more black to the corners of my eyes, so it's not so perfect. On the album cover itself, you guys can see it, there is a pretty big shadow coming away from his nose, so I'm also going to be adding that in just by drawing it on. I'm also adding some sunken areas on his face, as well as going in and defining that rough skin texture on his forehead. This green part is completely according to the album cover, and I'm just putting patches of that where I see fit, and this is BH Cosmetics Lime Eyeshadow and the Made You Look Lip Brush. I'm mainly concentrating this green more around the eye area and some on the cheeks. I'm then filling in the Widow's Peak using light green Paradise Paint and the Made You Look Detail brush, and going in with a little bit of black shadow and also outlining it. Finally, we're going to add the X to our forehead, and I'm doing this in a very squiggly fashion. If you'd like to continue the beard down onto your neck, I'm using the Made You Look Foundation brush and Graftobian White Pro Paint. I'm also shading with the MAC Chromacake light blue around the edges of my neck. To fill in the rest of the beard, I'm literally doing the exact same process of using the MAC Chromacake in light blue and the Made You Look Detail brush. Then I'm going in with light green Paradise Paint, and after that I am using the black Graftobian Pro Paint. The only thing that's different about the beard is you want to go back in with very small strokes of light blue and also part of the green throughout it. For my hair, I'm airbrushing in EBA water-based paints, and I mix together yellow, blue, and white to make a nice light green.